Hi, I'm Cheryl Hunter, best-selling author of Use It, Turn Setbacks into Success. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to find peace and resolution in the face of tragedy like today's Boston Marathon bombing. When a tragedy like this occurs, our normal, natural first response is to find out who did it, why they did it, and to put those people to justice. There's a flawed way of thinking with that, however. I mean, of course we need to find out who did it and why they did it and to make sure justice is served. I mean, people can't act like this in a civilized world. But the flawed way of thinking is this. We believe that peace and resolution are going to come as soon as the bad guys are put to justice, as soon as recompense is paid. And the truth is that's not so. Peace never comes from someone else paying. You see it on the news, unfortunately, all the time. You'll see families of victims who were hurt in some way saying, as soon as the killer comes to justice or the rapist comes to justice, then we'll find peace. But they never do. I speak from experience. If you don't know me or my story, I was abducted as a teenager. I was tortured and drugged and raped by two men. And in the ensuing years, I thought to myself that I would only become better. I would only be made whole if those men paid. And I used to concoct wild fantasies about how I was going to get back at them, until one day I really started to think that no matter how much they paid for what they had done, it would never rewind the past. That had happened. And the only way healing would ever come would be if I would take it on like an inside job. So that's what I'd like to offer you in today's video. How do you find resolution? How do you find healing in the face of what seems senseless, unthinkable, unconscionable acts? So if you're willing to get that resolution is an inside job, then I've got 3 things for you that will make a difference. And those 3 things are this. Number 1, in the face of any tragedy, the first thing you can do that'll make a difference is to do this. One of the most primal, fundamental human needs is to have the experience that people know what's going on in our heads, that someone else stands in our shoes. So if you can find someone, ideally it's somebody who's not in the immediate impact zone of the tragedy with you, maybe a step out or two, but if you can find someone to whom you can openly be in communication and let your hair down and simply outflow, without any input from them, without any handling from them, but simply allow yourself to let it all out. If you can authentically outflow without anything coming back at you, you will have the experience of being known and heard and getting it all off your chest. So that's number 1. Number 2 is look for that which brings you solace and comfort and do that. Now, ideally, in a perfect world, we'll all look for those things before tragedy strikes, but we're not always afforded with that luxury. So look to see. For certain people, it's being with animals. For others, it's being in nature. For others, they can't be alone when they're faced with tragedy. Know what it is for you. Tell yourself the truth about it, and then ask for it and get it. Now, third and finally, one of the most important things that you can do when you're faced with a tragedy may seem counterintuitive, and it is to help other people. One of the most debilitating things with which we deal when we're faced with a tragedy is the litany of negative thoughts in our heads and the what if and if onlys and all of that will never let you free. So if you can focus your life and energy and attention upon another, so much so that you are really serving them and about them, you can not only get out of your own head and get out of your own thoughts and give yourself like a mental vacation, but you can, in the act of being of authentic service to another, transmute life, like really alter your own experience of being alive, as well as serving another person in what could be a way that could make a lasting and positive difference. speaking of making a lasting and positive difference, if you find this video gives you actionable tools that can help you, share the difference with others. Particularly share this video with those who are dealing with tragedy in their own lives, those who have been dealt a difficult hand, those who are dealing with a tragedy or a difficult circumstance, but they're stuck perhaps in that finger-pointing, blame-assigning, looking for vindication stage that will never, unfortunately, yield any peace or resolution. If you like this video as well, subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed at CherylHunter.com, do that for more premium content. There are special things like this video that I only send out to people on my list. So subscribe there for content that will make a difference in the quality of your life. Thank you for being here. Have your life make a difference.